When it comes to offline games, there aren't much to begin with, and even in that limited pool, there are a lot of games that only can be described as trash. Hey game heads, it's your host Pedek, and let's take a look at some decent offline games to play this month. Starting off the list is Moonlighter, an amazing beautiful action RPG brought to us by Netflix Games. Now this one has been a bit underneath the radar, which is a surprise cause its premise is actually interesting like a diamond in the rough. The game follows the adventures of a bored shopkeeper that decides to become an adventurer by night. You takes care of your shop during the day, attending to customers, and at night you dive into randomly generated labyrinths or dungeons to fight monsters, get loot, and so on, all to fulfill your childhood dream. It kind of takes an unusual path on the RPG, roguelike genre, mixing dungeon crawling and shopkeeping, alongside something of a town simulator where you can interact with characters scattered around your little town. Think of it like Stardew Valley, but you are a shopkeeper. The story, beautiful graphics, and combat all seems to be of high quality, which is a deal breaker for me. It's an amazing looking game that I'm still shocked no one talks about, so go check it out. It's offline, but you need a Netflix subscription to play it. Crunchyroll has been steadily diving into the realms of gaming, and two releases that I've come across actually look well made. This leads us to our next game, Yuppie Psycho. A detective anime-themed mobile game where you play as Brain, a young man that starts to work for one of the biggest companies available, Sintracrop. But during the very first day of his work, he discovers that his new job now entails him being a witch hunter. Yes, he's going to have to kill the witch that's literally the reason why the company is so successful in the first place, that has seemingly returned and is tormenting the workplace. The odd thing is this is going to be his first doing such a quest. As a kind of thriller/mild horror titles rendered in pixel graphics with the classic multiple ending trope, prepare to meet all types of odd characters, escape from terrible creatures, and unravel the hidden secrets of Sintracorp's dark past. Even though I don't play horror titles, the mystery alone has caught my interest, and I know that whoever plays it is in for some deep lore with an intense storyline. Keeping up the heat up with Combat Kings, a street brawler that I find simply mesmerizing. At first glance into the trailer, you think to yourself, yeah, that's a lot like Street of Rage 4, but you will be shocked to find that the game precedes Street of Rage 4 by 2 whole years. And for some reason, I have not heard anything about it. One of the underrated gems that I finally stumbled across while making this video. It is a neat-looking action brawler with flashy, cool animation and interesting-looking combat. The story follows robot hunters doing what they do best. It is quite a simple premise and all. But like most action brawlers, the focus is in the combat, and it just looks okay. There are many characters each with their separate fighting style, and cool animations to really rack up those sweet combos, all in okay graphics that I find crisp and clear. I, for one, find it really fun to play, especially if you're into the fighting genre. Next up is Ugly, and this game is summed up in the word, enigmatic, dark and therapeutic, a puzzle platformer that does quite a good job diving into sensitive topics about self-love and reflect. The game mechanics also kind of display the core story of the game, where you can divide yourself into two controllable characters, you and your mirror image, allowing you to reach closed-off paths and clear interesting puzzles. The story seems to dive into the core belief of finding oneself as you follow a tormented nobleman as he explores the depths of his psyche, uncovering dark secrets, battling epic bosses and solving clever puzzles. The game's take on deep social problems like abuse, self-loathe and creeping madness make it more of a thought-provoking journey than a game. Something that I will think resonates with the right person. So yeah, go check it out. Next up is 50 Tiny Escape Rooms. Another puzzle game on today's list. The title does a good job in giving us the gist of the mechanics. You try to escape 50 tiny rooms, each filled with graduated level of puzzles as you try to solve them all and escape the room before the time runs out. Each room brings its different challenge. The world is an isometric dioramas which you can rotate in all directions, allowing you to figure out clues more intensely. As usually, there is a graduated level of difficulty as the game continually gets harder as you progress through levels. In the end, it's just a simple brain teaser, with cute tiny rooms, a mysterious plot and good old fun puzzles. Okay, next up is Tyrant's Blessing, a tactical turn-based RPG strategy game that looks promising. As far as RPGs go, it does follow the already known path, where you have to save the kingdom of Tiberia from a tyrant whose idea of paradise is joining his undead army. It's now up to you to gather a group of allies to fight this tyrannical monster and send him back from where he came. Pretty simple yet an interesting RPG concept. The game does, however, emphasizes on strategic planning, carefully enlisting the unique characteristics of each hero and the environment rather focusing on levels and powerful gear. If you've played games like Into the Breach, you will find the world rendering a bit familiar, involving a kind of small grid-like environment. With each turn, you get to attack, defend, heal, use unique skills and all the other stuff. The game is a simple RPG that is paid, not too big in size, and it's something that a turn-based RPG fan can get into. Next up is Race Pro Max, and as the title clearly suggests, yes, it is a racing game, and that alone sums up the entire game. You drive around in flashy cars in pretty-looking environments, accelerating, drifting, and boosting to the finish line. There are a plethora of cars, missions, and everything arcade to keep you interested. And that pretty much sums it up. It is a racing game, and a good-looking one, with great-looking graphics that are manageable but far from the best, and it is also playable offline, so that's an added bonus. Next up is a game I've talked about. Yes, Your Grace. A medieval kingdom management simulator that gives you the role of its king. You make decisions, recruit allies, develop your kingdom, play politics, manage conflict and wage glorious war. You know, all the royal stuff. The game has a pretty simple concept that can get difficult over time if you do not make the right call at the right time. It really finds a way to give you all the authority of a medieval kingdom, yet confine you to the responsibility that weighs on the crown. Which I find it quite intriguing, with nice-looking gameplay, and colorful pixel graphics, and since it's a management-type game, which seems to always pick my interest, I will check it out. Playdigas has cooked with the next entry, Potion Permit, a game that has been called the next Stardew Valley. That's how you know it's gonna be huge. You play as a doctor recruited into a small town with less than 50 villagers, and it's up to you to treat them of their various ailments. You can venture out to forage herbs, fight monsters for medicinal loot, brew potions for different types of ailments, talk to NPCs, accept quests, develop relationships, and even get romantically involved. So, in a way, it is pretty much a Stardew Valley that doesn't take the farming route. I find the gameplay trailer quite intriguing with cool-looking combat and the managerial mechanics that tickles a certain part of my controlling brain. So, yeah, it is one of those games I'm super excited to play, and I will even be doing a review on it. Okay, game heads, with that, we are done with today's video. Which new offline games are you going to try out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and please like, subscribe, and share for more videos.
And I will see you in the next one. I'm out, oh!